So what was it like to study under John Rawls, because he was ultimately your advisor? Right?
He was my advisor, yeah. Rawls was a very strange personality. He was very, very shy. People at Harvard are pompous for the most part. You know, they're important people. They know a lot and so on. They talk very fast and try to be very, very smart, outsmart other people. Rawls was the exact opposite. You would think that he was just visiting or something. He was speaking slowly. He had a stammer all his life, and especially at the beginning when you didn't know him well, he would stammer a lot. And he was very reluctant to disagree. So for me, it was very frustrating. I would bring him a piece of writing that was very critical of his work, and I say, okay, punch me out, do me something. You know, obviously this is wrong what I'm saying, so tell me why. How would you defend yourself? He'd say, well, this is very thoughtful and very well done, and let me think about it, and so on. He was very, very modest. It was difficult to get into a fight with him. You could have a fight with Nozick any day. It was very easy, right? And, but not with Rawls. And very sweet, very gentle, and friendly, and so on. But as an advisor, I needed somebody who would really counterpunch, you know, and I didn't get that from him.
What attracted you about his ideas in your time there?
Well, this theory is just incredibly beautiful to read. You know, it's at first reading, it's boring and forbidding. And then when you go through the theory, really reconstruct it in your own mind, it has a unity and elegance that was just stunning. So that was the main thing that attracted me to it. And then I thought, here is a wonderful opportunity to make Americans understand that their foreign policy is you know, too imperialistic, and that they should reach out more to the poor people in the world and so on. All you need to do is take the same fundamental idea, imagine yourself not knowing in which country you were born and so on, whether you're born rich or poor, and think about how would you want the world to be organized, how would you want foreign policy to be conducted and so on. So it's pretty obvious that you would want a much more peaceful, a much fairer world, a fairer world economy and so forth. And it seemed too obvious for words, but the first who disagreed with that was Rawls. So he didn't like this idea. He thought that his original position construction couldn't really be applied to the world at large, and he had different reasons for why that wasn't good. And that was much of what we argued about for those years. And then the only success that I had with him was in the end that he wrote up his own ideas about it. Right? He wrote up a book called The Law of Peoples, his last major work, in which he said, okay, how to do it. If you really were to take my theory and globalize it, this is how it should be done and not Pogge's way.
So you could sort of enter into this dialogue with him.
Yeah, oh, many, many hours. Even after I left, you know, we would talk on the phone every now and then. I would go up and visit him and so on. We would always have long, long arguments about foreign policy and about. He was a person who was fundamentally focused on the domestic. So his heart was, in America, he was a patriot in that sense that he said, I care about justice in America. And the rest is sort of more complicated. The world is not really to be trusted, right? It's, if we give too much power away, things are not necessarily going to be better. It's good for the US to play a leading role, to preserve that leadership role, because we are the repository of justice in the world and the kind of city on the hill metaphor.